Bingo!
Bingo! Welcome to Highway 30. I'm Amy.
And I'm Sarah, and we're here to help you get creative.
Today, we are going to be working on a project for my house.
Yeah, I remember back when you got this thing. It's very cool. It came from Ballard's.
A huge piece of art, right? It's a bingo board. And I love this bingo board. In our old house, the colors matched our decor. It looked great. I loved it.
Yeah, the scale is great. Color change.
Yeah, the colors are not gonna work in our new house. I want to keep the same exact thing because I like it so much. So we're gonna recreate it.
Bingo!
Bingo! Now you might think, well, I could just paint over it, right? But that's not me.
So the first step is to make a clean slate.
I'm gonna sand the thing down. I'm taking off everything. And it makes it a little complicated because I had to measure exactly everything. I wanted it to look the same. That process was a little...
Yeah, we spent a little bit of time with a lot of
measuring tapes.
2 measuring tapes.
Lots
marking.
Measuring.
Yeah.
More measuring and more measuring. Kind of a long process. We'll say this one is about 8 months in the making.
We don't always have to tell them that. But yeah, long process.
I mean, it's probably about 7.5 months of that. It was just sitting in the room. So I'm very excited that I finally decided to just finish it.
It was nice to see it come to completion.
Yes.
So I think we've said enough.
I think so.
The mystery has been built.
Anxiously awaiting.
Yeah. Let's go.
What's gonna happen?
Watch the process.
Let's go watch the process.
Let's go.
All right, guys, here we go with all of the measuring. I spent quite a bit of time measuring every little block and every line, and I took tons of pictures so I could go back and look at them when I started recreating the whole thing over in Silhouette Studio. Here you can see how I mapped out the board. One perk of redoing this was that I did take the opportunity to change some of the numbers on the board, and I moved some around and I added a few that were meaningful for us. So I personalized it. Since this is a very large scale project, I put as many guides throughout as I could because I knew that I was going to have to do many different cuts and then put them back together. So all of those guides, as many as you can put, they're all very helpful. So you may be wondering why I'm going to all this trouble to sand everything off of the board when all I'm going to do is paint back over it. But there are a couple of reasons. The first was that the original actually had texture to it. There were lots of spots that had been distressed, and they would definitely have shown through the paint if I had just painted over them. The main reason, however, is because I am going to stain the whole piece first. So in the end, the numbers are going to be stained while the rest is painted. To place the stencil on the board, we first marked off the large square where the numbers are going to be placed. Then we found the center of that square and placed our free space marker from there. And at that point, all we had to do was line up all of those wonderful guides. At this point, all we need is the numbers and the lines on the board, the parts that I want to keep in the stained wood color. So free space and bingo get set aside for a little while. And a little while it was. Here I am 8 months later and finally ready to finish this project. It's one of those if I had only known moments. I had no idea that it was only a few hours and one day away from being complete. First, I'm going to start by painting over the entire number square. I also made sure to get the very top because the bingo at the top will also be the plaster color, and 2 coats covered this perfectly. Next, I'm marking off the square, adding the bingo and the free space stencils, and then I'm going to cover all of that with the graphite. Now let's talk about the bad idea. It wasn't the best idea to put the numbers on the board and leave them for 8 months. They were a little challenging to peel off at that point, and they did leave behind some sticky residue, but no worries in the end. I went over the whole board with a matte polyurethane and no more sticky numbers. So there you have it. It was fun creating something of this scale. I hope you enjoyed watching us recreate this bingo board, and if you enjoy watching restorations, crafting, and creative kit ideas, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. We'll be back next week with something new. Thanks for stopping by.